Assalamu alaikum. It seems that Hizbuttahrir are extremely outraged against me. Take it easy. Take it easy. I know them by experience. They are strong shouters and very enthusiastic in, come, let's debate. Come, stand before us here. Let's debate. What did you say about us? Come on, take it easy. Where is the Islamic manners? Where's the patience? Now, the first thing a person of Hizbuttahrir says to you is the whole ummah is committing a sin, is sinner. The whole ummah is sinner. Why? Because there is no leader for them. The ummah must have a leader. Okay? Yes. Well, when you hear that, emotionally, you sympathize with. Yeah, they're right. The ummah must have a leader. But wait a minute, making the whole ummah sinner, since they're not able to set a leader for them. What are you going to say about the Rohingya? They are weakened. What do you say about people in China, the Uyghurs? They're sinners. They had not set a leader for them. What do you say about the weakened people in the Middle East who are tried by tyrant leaders set by the enemies? We know that. So why you put the whole ummah in sin since they could not set a leader for them? Why? Why they're sinners? Why do you put more burdens on the ummah, on the nation, while they're not able to set a leader for themselves? So this is emotional techniques. Now, second, they flirted Khomeini. You may be shocked when I say that to you. They said the best thing Khomeini did is that he established the Islamic State. So, first thing, Imam. Second thing, Khomeini. Third thing, there is Imam in the cellar that the Shia believe in. But Hizbuttahrir don't believe in that. Yes, but they're sympathizing with the Shia. As one of the leaders, Saudi one, who said, I'm extremely impressed by Khomeini. See, this is ghazal in Arabic. Ghazal, flirting Khomeini. So they take you smartly, indirectly to the Shia way. Here he's saying, it is the right of every Muslim to curse Muawiyah in his life and after his death because he deserves it and because of his evil treatment to Ali, Salamullahi alayhi. Exactly, just like the way of the Shia. Then I launched a Twitter saying it is the right of every Muslim now to curse Mas'ari because of his assault against Muawiyah. Look here, I sent a question to Mas'ari. Since he claimed that he is fascinated with Khomeini, I asked him this question. Bukhari narrated authentically, narration number 3765, that Ibn Abbas described Muawiyah that he is faqih, a man of understanding. And the people of Sham, North Africa, they all became Muslims because of his futuhat, his openings to these countries. So millions of people converted to Islam because of Muawiyah. Imam Nawawi, Ghazali, Ibn Hajar Asqalani, even the Sufis, they say that Muawiyah is a great man of companionship to the Prophet ﷺ. Okay? And the Prophet asked Allah to teach him the book and to avert from him the torment of hellfire. This hadith is authentic. Now, compared to this, I mentioned to him Khomeini, who gave fatwa that it is allowed to make sex with even the suckling baby. Even the contemporary scholar Kamal Haidari, he admitted that all Shia believe in this, that it's allowed to play sex with this suckling baby. Look at the document. We don't speak without knowledge and proof. And he cursed Abu Bakr and Umar. And he's the killer of 30,000 people. The moment he became the leader in Iran, he killed 30,000 prisoners. He claimed that the Prophet failed in his message, but the Mahdi won't. He said that Fatima is God that emerged on earth within an image of a woman. He believes in Wahdatul Wujud, the one existence. That means God and his creatures are included in one. He commentated on all the books of Ibn Arabi, and he's famous with this false belief that all things are one, creator and created beings. So who's better, Muawiyah or Khomeini? He did not answer my question at all. He ignored me extremely. But even he blocked me. And he speaks impudently against Umar and against everyone. Look here, he's saying that the shoes of Khomeini is better than you, while he was chatting with someone on Twitter. And he's calling his opponent pig and eat, shit. This is the language of this Hizbuttahrir leader, Muhammad Mis'ari. So here's an icon of Hizbuttahrir, and that is this man who lives in London. He's given all facilities, all support. And this is a joint venture support between Britain and Shia. The other thing is, setting a leader, that's not easy. The Prophet did not work on being the leader when he was in Mecca. In fact, the pagans offered him to be the leader, but to give up the da'wah. And he refused it. So is the Prophet sinner? And he kept his companions with him for 10 years, and he was not the leader. In Mecca, he did not declare himself to be a leader, but he was working for da'wah. He was striving. He was taking advantage of the seasons of Hajj. Was there Hajj before the Prophet ﷺ? Yes. This is what people do not know. They think that Quraysh was in Jahiliyyah, the era of ignorance. They know nothing. They don't know about God. They don't know anything. Well, the father's name of Muhammad ﷺ is Abdullah. According to Sahih Muslim as well, Quraysh used to be fasting Ashura, and the Prophet was fasting Ashura before he became Prophet. Which means to say that the previous teachings, the remnants of the previous teachings of the previous prophets, there's still some remnants, some remainings. Hajj was there. Didn't Quraysh say to the Prophet Muhammad, why do you criticize us? Don't you see? We honor the guests. We host them. We feed them. So why do you criticize us? But he criticizes them because of their paganism, that they mingled with the remainings of Tawheed that Ibrahim and all the prophets came with. So, if the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ accepted to be the leader in Mecca, he has to give up his da'wah. So when he was in Mecca, I forgot to say, when he was in Mecca, he was taking advantage of the time of Hajj, offering the ayat, the verses of Allah to the people. And he says, who can help me? Who can lift me? Take me to his own tribe, helping me to convey Allah's words. because Quraysh, they prohibited on me to let the words of Allah be heard. That was the Prophet's concern. Wait, if we wait until we get a leader, then we can't give da'wah. My dear, don't you know, Mr. Hizbullah, Mr. Hizbuttahrir, that you are a sinner for not conveying the message of Allah? Look, those people of Hizbuttahrir, they are extremely ignorant about deen, about religion. And by the way, they are so close to the way of Mu'tazila. Their books prove that they're following the most deluded or misguided people of cults in Islam called Mu'tazila. And those people are magnifying, glorifying the mind more than anything. I know them. I read their books. Wallahi. Look, I don't need to fight with people. I don't need to, confront people with lies, etc. La wallah. This is the fact. Those who read their books, they know very well that they are following the way of Mu'tazila. And they're denying the punishment of the grave. And they have many other issues. And some of them were, debating with me about shaking hands with women, saying there's no dalil that touching women's hands is haram. The Prophet said, I do not shake hands. He did not say it's haram. He said, I don't. But the Prophet did not say that you should not touch the breasts of women. Did he say? No. So what do you think now? If the Prophet did not say it's haram to touch women's hands, he did not also say that it's haram to touch woman's breast, woman's thighs. Come on. So, this is a very important point. You have to grow the base by what? By spreading the da'wah. Because even this leader becomes leader while his people are not righteous, they will throw him down. They will make a coup against him and they will dismiss him. They will exile him. So he has to give up da'wah because da'wah will make them angry. Da'wah will be risking his presidential position. That's what's happening. That's why those Ikhwan Muslimin, Muslim Brotherhood, they failed. They failed to maintain their da'wah. Why? Because they are more engaged with politics than the da'wah. Da'wah is before. So the Prophet remained 10 years in Mecca. He was not the leader. There was no Islamic State. The companions were not sinners. Then 10 years in Medina, he became the leader and there was an Islamic State. So don't tell me that the Ummah is in sin as long as they do not have a leader. What if they can't? What if they are incapable? What if they are oppressed? You want to put on them sin over the oppression they suffer? That's unfair. These are emotional approaches that they begin with you. Then they take you through their decoy. And that is the decoy. Imama, leadership. It is true that Muslims should have a leader. But you know what? It is of Allah's punishment that they were deprived from having the leader since they are careless about giving da'wah and saving people from hellfire. This is punishment in itself. This is why I disagree with Hizbuttahrir. And there are many, many other things that I disagreed with them, but this is very important. Look, the Roman emperor was about to become Muslim. Not only this, but he invited his people for Islam. But before he invited them, he ordered the guards to strictly tight on and lock the gates, so no one among the invited people for Islam will go out and spread the rumor. So when he invited them to Islam, after receiving the message from the Prophet Muhammad to him, he said to them, you want to become dominants, east and west, south and north? They said yes. He said, follow this man. Then they became extremely outraged, and they rushed, just like they rushed headlong to the gates, just like buffaloes, like this, rushing to the gates. Why? They want to complain against him. They want to spread that new thing that the Roman emperor is inviting them to. But he was smart. He said to the guards, bring them back. He knew that they're not going to obey him. He said to them, you know what? I was saying this to you, testing you, whether you'll be strengthening, upholding, adhering to the religion you have. I was testing you. Oh, okay. Then they prostrated to him. So, a leader cannot be a leader if his people are against his religion. If a person is Muslim and he wants to invite his people to Islam, but his people are not Muslims, okay, they will refuse him. Likewise, if the leader is a good Muslim, repented to Islam, etc., okay, changed his way, but his people are rebellious. We find in most countries nowadays this attitude. Most of the people, they say, we're Muslims, but if you check their kind of submission to Allah, they're not really submissive. So you have to fix the base. You have to fix the roots of the tree so the tree can grow correctly, properly. If the root of the tree is not good, is not fixed, then the tree will not be fruiting properly. I hope this is a good example and a good important briefing to awaken people against the cult of Hizbuttahrir. And by the way, Hizbuttahrir are sinners because they said that in 60 years or 40 years, Hizbuttahrir has an agenda to successfully set a leader. And they failed until now. So they are sinners themselves. Assalamu alaikum. Look, the whole biography of the prophets are supportive to what I say. Prophet Ibrahim did not lead politically. Zechariah, Yahya, all those prophets. Yes, Dawood and Sulaiman, they had the kingship, the leadership, okay? Yeah. But most of prophets and messengers were not looking for leadership. The utmost concern of Musa is to save the people of Israel from the claws of Pharaoh. The Prophet ﷺ's life was divided into 10 years of first stage and 10 years of another stage. 10 years in Mecca, he was not leader. And had it been Allah's will, Allah would have been letting the Prophet be leader at the first time. From the point when they said to him, take the leadership if you want, but don't call us to this religion. But the Prophet refused. So therefore I say, the real sin, O Hizbuttahrir, is not working effectively on saving people's life from hell. And to be skillful in doing this is to learn and teach. Learn and teach, learn and teach. Okay? So you can produce a society of knowledge in practice and knowledge. So that will be the greatest influence on people. Especially, currently there's no hope to become a leader in Britain or in Europe unless Allah wills something. If Allah wills the people in the West to be converted to Islam in one night, in 1 hour, Allah is able. It's powerful. But since there is currently no hope, okay, why don't you learn and teach? Why don't we see Hizbuttahrir as active as the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses in spreading the knowledge, being so keen to learn even the small thing, just like what happened to the companions. They used to be, for catching one hadith, they used to travel for that one hadith from Medina to Damascus. What do you think? Is that what you do? No. People of Hizb ut-Tahrir are extremely ignorant. Most of those whom I see among people of Hizb ut-Tahrir, especially the leaders, they are smokers. The way they dress, the way they behave, it tells you that they have nothing. And this religion cannot flourish except by the knowledge. Knowledge is very important. Where are the Hafidh among you? The Hafidh of Quran. Where are the people of Hadith? I haven't seen any significant person in dealing with the Hadith. Nothing. In a matter of fact, they put a lot of doubt on the Hadith, saying that the Hadith in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, okay, they are suspicious in terms of Aqidah. We should not be using these Hadith. So 99% of the Hadith of the book of Bukhari and Muslim are Ahad. Ahad means the narrator of the Hadith may be 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, up to 7. Still Ahad. So they say if it's Ahad, you should not cite it, substantiate it in terms of matter of doctrine. Yes, matters of fiqh and issue and stuff, yes. Yani secondary issues, but not the basic issues. When people hear those people speaking like this, they say, oh, mashallah, they are so keen to purify the aqidah. They nothing. Sorry to say that, no offense. Wallahi, I don't mean to offend them. But this is the fact, this is the reality. Look, one man whose name is Albani. How fruitful, influential, effective he was. One person. And he had great effect on the matter of hadith. Where are you people of hadith? Nothing. The most important thing, the ummah has to have a leader. Look, you may die before the leadership take place. So what did he do? What did he do? Especially when you focus on this matter of leadership, pending, postponing, delaying, disregarding the matter of learning, teaching, giving da'wah, being patient for the harm you may encounter because of your da'wah. This is the issue. Not only we don't see any positive action from you with regards to inviting people to Islam, okay? The only thing is we prepare ourselves for the leadership. You may die before it. So what you'll be asked about your negligence with regard to the inviting people to da'wah, inviting people to Islam. This is the real issue. This is the bottom line. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not will that we have leadership for centuries, what do? Only give them good news that they're sinners because they could not have a leader. Look, the leadership of politics is nothing compared to the leadership of guidance. Ibrahim was not a leader politically, but he was the leader of guidance. And his leadership of guidance, it's still influential until the day of judgment. Not only until now, not only until his time, no, until the day of judgment. So you have to work on this. How to become leaders in faith, in religion, is to learn thoroughly, deeply, learn, and then teach and spread the knowledge. And by that, as a result, yes, this will be affecting the society. When the society becomes a faithful society, now it becomes very easy to assign a leader among them. But just to have a leader, look, Erdogan is a leader, and he's afraid among the surrounding society that most of them, the influential ones among them, they are seculars. So at any time he's expecting any kind of coup, because, and he's working, wallahi, I believe that. He's striving to change the stereotype of people, to change the commitment of people toward their religion. He's striving, okay? But there's a great deal of danger. Once the base is faithful, the people are knowledgeable, then that makes it much easier for the leader to be granted to us. Otherwise, no. Just saying that you're sinners if you don't have a leader, so what? It's not in our hands. The Uyghur in China are sinners. Most of the Muslim world today, they are led by secular leaders. And you know what it means, secular leaders. That means leaders who do not bother about Allah's law on earth. Finish. Let the law of God be in the mosque, that's all. And let politics be led by us. We make our own rules. Let the rules of Allah be in the mosque only. That's secularism. So the Muslims maybe accept very little. There might be some leaders who partly deal with Islamic law. Otherwise, most of the Muslims today, they're led by secularism. Why? There are many reasons. Among the reasons that the lifestyle of the people themselves is secular. So as a punishment, they are led by seculars. So you have to change the people. Then Allah will be granting us a leader from the same stereotype of the people. I hope this point is important.